So hello, welcome to module number 6, device monitoring and management of networking security course. So the objective of this module is to explain how the Cisco IOS resilient configuration feature and secure copy are used to secure the Cisco IOS image and configuration file. Use the correct command for auto-secure to enable security on an iOS-based router. Use the correct command to configure routing protocol authentication. Compare the in-band and out-of-band management access. Explain how to configure syslog to log system events. Configure NTP to enable accurate timestamping between all devices. Configure SNMP to monitor system status. Secure Cisco IOS image configuration file. So itong Cisco IOS resilient configuration features allows us for faster recovery if someone maliciously or unintentionally reformats our flash memory or erases the startup configuration file in an volatile random access memory. The configuration file in the primary boot set is a copy of a running configuration that was in the router when the feature was first enabled. The feature secures the smallest working set of files to preserve persistent storage space. So in this case though, no extra space is required to secure the primary Cisco IOS image. The features automatically detects image or configuration version mismatch. Only local storage is used for securing files. The features can be disabled only through the console session. Once na ma-enable nyo raw, kung gusto nyo i-disable yan, magka-console kayo, hindi through telnet or SSH So kung gusto nyo raw i-hide yung inyong Cisco IOS image kung yun yung matatandaan kapag ka nag-show flash kayo, makikita nyo yung Cisco image ninyo So ngayon, if you want to hide that, use the secure boot -image command sa global configuration mode. When enabled daw for the first time, the running Cisco IOS image is secured and log entry is generated. So the Cisco IOS image resilient feature can only be disabled through a console session using the negation no form of the command. If you want to verify, use the show secure boot set command to verify the existence of the archive. So nagiging archive pala siya. Yan. So magbase na lang tayo dito kasi hindi naman siya gumagana sa packet tracer at yung ating emulator din naman ay hindi naman talaga designed for ganitong feature So pwede lang siyang gawin talaga sa tunay na device. So ito na yung mga sample command. So secure boot image in-enter dito sa router, tapos nagsislag na siya sa ating console. Secure boot config. Ang purpose ng secure boot config is to secure also your startup-config Tama, startup-config. Yung kailangan niyang gawan ng backup para kahit na mag-erase startup pa yung attacker natin. So ngayon to verify, show secure boot set. Ganito makikita natin dito. iOS image resilience version 15.4 activated. Tapos kung anong oras siya inactivate, anong date secure archive is stored in flash 0 : tapos yung pangalan ng ating image so runnable image entry point. So iOS configuration naman, iOS configuration resilience version 15.4 activated secure archive is under run CFG. Ito yun, run CFG, tapos yung automatic nag-create siya ng timestamp dito is a configuration archive, no? So how to restore, no? Kunyari na-enable natin yun, tapos hindi na natin nakikita yung Cisco IOS image natin as in yung flash mismo, hindi nakikita, no? So to restore a primary boot set from a secure archive after the router has been tampered with, ano? So step number 1 daw, magre-reload tayo ng router using reload o kaya yung sa power, no? If necessary daw, habang nandun tayo sa console, no, before siya mag-load ng flash, pinipindot natin dito yung control break key sa keyboard. Sa puti, control break key yung ginagamit hanggang sa pumasok tayo sa ROM on. Parang ganito, no? So kapag ni-reload ko to, yan, nag-control C ako. Bilis, ano? Sa tunay na device ito, ang tagal niyan eh. Ibig sabihin nito, hindi na siya nag-boot ng ng flash. So ito yung magiging prompt natin. Itong ROM-on, no? Pagka nagkamali kayo ng command dito, mag-i-increment lang naman tong line. Ibig sabihin nasa line 2 ka na. Yan. Although mali yung command mo doon sa first line, correct mo na lang, no? So magiging ROM-on 2, 3, 4, 5 yan, no? And so on. So from ROM-on mode, enter the directory command to list the content of the device that contains the secure boot set file. Okay. Step number 3, boot the router with the secure boot set image using boot. Yan. So tingnan nga natin yung sample command niya rito, no? Yan. So nag-reload, nag-control break, tapos directory flash 0:. So ito na yung ating archive, no? And then ang command daw ay boot into flash. Yan, tapos enter niyo yan, no? So comment lang ito. Comment lang ito, nakikita nyo. So boot flash to this iOS image. So magre-restart yan. So and then papasok na tayo dun sa sa ating user exec mode. So enable config t and then kung may mga set pa kayo dito, no? Yan, tapos secure boot config restore. Ito naman yung ating secure configuration. I-restore natin. Secure boot config restore from flash 0 rescue CFG or 2 flash 0 rescue dash CFG. Actually, pang pagkakalam ko rito, you can make any string here, no? Ito sample lang naman yung ginamit niya. Sabi daw dito, iOS resilience configuration successfully restored, no, as flash rescue CFG. And then kasi nando sa archive, no? Ibig sabihin kinapin natin, no? Or ibinalik natin from archive to original, no? And then copy plus 0 rescue to running configuration. Ngayon lang naman siya. So kunyari ikakopy nyo yun, yung mga configuration na yun, from router to router, no? Configure nyo muna yung dalawang device ng ng secure shell. Kunyari R1, R2, no? Kunyari si R1 daw yung magta-transfer ng or alin man sa device na yon yung gustong i-backup yung file from one another, no? Ikakopy doon sa flash memory. Configure nyo muna itong secure shell, no? Tapos enable the authentication, authorization, and accounting. So ito na yung gagamitin natin as instead na login local, no? Magiging login authentication default. So etong SCP kasi na to, may enable lang siya kung meron na tayo naka-configure na secure shell. Yan. So kung sino man yung device na gusto nyo gawing server, no, enable SCP server side functionality with IP SCP server command. So tingnan natin yung sample dito. So si R1, no, si R1 ang naging server. Okay, si R2 ano lang siya, client. Sabi daw dito, copy flash 0 R2 backup -cfg SCP. Ibig sabihin nito, pina-forward natin yung plus 0 R2 backup CFG. Ibig sabihin yung configuration using SCP. Nalagay natin yung remote address ito ni R1. So yung username and so on. And then ano na yan, kumbaga na-copy na doon sa kabilang side. Pero encrypted siya. So encrypted yung pag-copy niyan kahit mag-capture kayo ng ng Wireshark. If a router is compromised or needs to be recovered from a misconfigured password, an administrator must use password recovery procedure such as those shown in the table. Halimbawa, no, meron kang password sa console, enable, nakalimutan mo sa router. Okay. Pwede naman natin siyang i-reset, no? Ito yung step by step natin. Using console lang gagamitin natin dito. Tapos ang default configuration register kasi ng router, no, kapag tayo ay nagko-configure ay ganito. Nakaset po yun sa global configuration mode using config register 0x2102. Actually, mabe-verify nyo naman kung ang router ninyo, sa router lang to, show version, no, hover, kumbaga spacebar, kaya makikita nyo doon na 0x2102. Ano ibig sabihin ng 2102? Ang 0x2102 na configuration register, ang ginagawa niya kapag kunyari nag-boot tayo ng router, so ang ginagawa daw niya is syempre meron tinatawag na POST, power on self test. From power on self test, of course ilaload na rin yung bootstrap, di ba? Yes, bootstrap to find yung image. Usually yung image natin nandito yan sa sa flash memory. If successfully na-load, no, or na-locate ng ating bootstrap yung location ng ating image doon sa flash, ilo-load niya yan. So ngayon matatransfer yung yung power, no, matatransfer yung from bootstrap magiging iOS na kaagad, So susunod na step dito, nung na-load na yung iOS, yung configuration naman, ayan, yung config file galing sa startup config, ito yan yung normal. So ngayon kapag kunyari gusto nyo mag password recovery, kailangan iset nyo siya ng 2142. Okay, ano ang 0x2142? Parang nasa loob ka lang din naman ng router, no, na kapag user exec, privilege mode, configuration terminal, nakapag configure ka, hostname and so on, nakakapag copy run start ka. Kaya lang mangyayari kapag ka nag-reload ka, yung configure mo wala na, back to zero ka uli. So ibig sabihin yung 2142, ito ang ginagawa niya, ignore the startup dash config. Ayan, sige, subukan natin, So dito sa router natin, since may password dito kanina, ganoon lang din naman ang step, no? Papatayin nyo yung router o re-reload nyo So kung syempre kung may password yun, patayin nyo yung power, no? Habang bago siya mag-boot ng flash, kailangan mag control break kayo para makapasok sa ROM monitor, at gagawin nyo to 0x2142 kasi by default naka 2102 yung yung settings natin. Sorry, config pa lang command. Yan, take note, ano? So, take note na nagkamali ako ng command dito, naging Roman 2 sa config 0x2142. Ito yung tama. So, pwede kayo mag-type ng reset or I sa tunay na device. Ay, tingnan natin kung supported ng packet tracer tong I. Ayaw. Reset. Ibig sabihin niya, magre-reboot na tayo ng router. So yan, nung nag-boot tayo, nakita nyo, would you like to enter to enter the initial configuration dialog, as if wala siyang configuration, pero yung configuration natin nandiyan pa rin naman sa router, no? Wag lang kayo mag-erase, no? So pasok muna tayo. Show startup. Ito yung startup natin kanina. Yan, so ibig sabihin ilo-load natin yan. Balikan muna natin to. So 0x2142, press Ctrl C to skip. Put the router into privilege exec. Copy the startup configuration to running configuration. Yan, kung gusto nyo i-backup, ano? Tapos papalitan nyo lang ng password. So copy startup running. So naging R2 yung pangalan, no? So okay, mag-exit yan, kasi pagka nag-exit kayo dyan, or kapag ka nag-reload kayo, burado yung file natin, mabubura yan. So from privilege mode, diretso na kagad kayo doon, configure terminal, palitan nyo na yung mga password, no? Kung mayroon kayo papalitan ng mga settings, no? And then wag nyo kakalimutan config-register 0x2102. Ibabalik natin siya sa dati. Tapos copy, run, start, and then show version muna tayo. So currently we are in the OX2142. It will be 0x2102 at the next reload. So try natin mag-reload. Yan. So meron na ulit tayong username and password, no? Hindi ko na binago kasi alam ko naman yung kanyang password. I-demonstrate ko lang sa inyo na pwede siyang ma-reset, no? If someone gained physical access to a router, they could potentially gain control of that device through the password recovery procedure. An administrator can mitigate this potential security breach by using the no service password -recovery on the global configuration mode. This command is a hidden Cisco iOS command, no, and has no argument or keyword. When the no service password recovery command is entered, a warning message is displayed, no, and must be acknowledged before the feature is enabled. Ngayon, kagaya nito, no service password recovery. So tingnan nga natin, pwede kaya siya rito? Walang ibang command na hindi supported ng packet tracer. So sa tunay na device to, no service password recovery. So executing this command will disable the password recovery mechanism. Do not execute this command without another plan for password recovery. Are you sure you want to continue? Sagutin nyo lang naman daw yan ng yes. When it is configured, the show running config display the no service password recovery. to recover a device, no? After a no service password recovery command is entered, initiate the break sequence ulit within 5 seconds after the image decompressed during the boot. And then you are prompted to confirm the break key action. After the action is confirmed, the startup configuration is completely erased. The password recovery procedure is enabled, and the router boots with the factory default configuration. If you do not confirm the break action, no, the router boots normally with the no service password recovery command enabled. Lock down a router using the Cisco Auto Secure feature. So remember, no, itong mga devices natin, Cisco switches, no, may mga default services yan eh. Yung mga default service na yon, vulnerable yon to attack, no, if security is not enabled. So the Cisco Discovery Protocol is an example of a service that is enabled by default on a Cisco router. Yung LLDP, no, the Link Layer Discovery Protocol is an open standard that can be enabled on a Cisco devices as well as other vendor devices that support the LLDP. So the intent of those two protocols is to make it easier for the administrator to discover and troubleshoot other devices on the network. However, though, no, because of the security implication, this discovery protocol should be used with caution. Edge devices are an example of devices that should have this feature disabled, no. So ibig sabihin yung router natin na naka-connect, no, doon sa modem. So yung interface na yun, no, kung saan naka-connect yung internet natin, dapat naka-turn off yung feature ng CDP saka LLDP. Yan, kasi kung naka-open yun, mag-ano yan eh, mag-advertise siya ng presence niya sa internet. So kung merong attacker doon sa internet, makikita niya yung Cisco devices natin, no? Pati yung pangalan, pati IP address, makikita yan. Attackers choose services and protocols that make the network more vulnerable to malicious exploitation. Many of these features should be disabled, no, or restricted in their capabilities, no, based on the security needs of an organization. These features range from network discovery protocols such as CDP and LLDP to globally available protocols such as ICMP and other scanning tools, no. The table summarizes the features and the default settings for protocols and services, no. Pakibasa na lang yan, no. Yan, as you can see, no, ang daming mga naka-open na mga services. So the table below show recommended security settings, no, for protocols and services. So yung LLDP, of course, pati yung CDP dapat kung hindi ginagamit, naka-disable dapat siya, no? Ayan. So yung FTP, TFTP should be disabled when it is not required, no. Yung mga hindi talaga natin ginagamit should be should be turned off, no. The Cisco Auto Secure can lock down the management plane and the forwarding plane, no, and function of a router. There are several management plane services and functions, kagaya ng bootp na ginagamit for addressing, CDP, FTP, TFTP, PAD, UDP, and TCP small server, and so on, no? Ang dami. Hanggang yan yung R proxy, no? Yan. Legal notification using banner, secure password login function, secure NTP, secure SSH, TCP intercept service. there are 3 forwarding plane services and function that auto-secure is enabled, no? Yung Cisco Express Forwarding, traffic filtering with ACL, Cisco iOS firewall inspection for common protocols. So if you want to lock down your router, no, use the auto-secure command to enable the Cisco auto-secure feature setup. Yan, this setup can be interactive or non-interactive. So auto-secure, pwede nyo lagay na now interact, para wala nang tanong-tanong, no? Pwede namang auto-secure, enter ninyo, pasok kayo sa interactive, no, na marami siyang tinatanong na mga information. So parameters daw, the user will not be prompted for any interactive configuration. No interactive dialog parameters will be configured, including username or password. Forwarding, only the forwarding plane will be secured. Management, only the management plane will be secured, no? Yung ibang mga commands nga pala dito, no, sa tunay na iOS lang natin mapapagana, pero subukan natin sa packet tracer, no, yung auto secure. As you can see here, no, walang option. So ibig sabihin, yung mga may option na yon sa tunay na device lang natin siya magagamit, no? So pero subukan natin dito. So nung in-enter ko yung Cisco auto secure natin, and then nagtatanong siya ng mga information, no? Sabi daw dito, auto secure will modify the configuration of your device. All configuration changes will be shown. For a detailed explanation of how the configuration changes enhance security and any possible side effect, please refer to cisco.com for auto secure documentation. At any prompt, you may enter ? For help. Use Control-C down, no, to abort this session at any prompt. Then, gathering information about the router for auto-secure. Tinatanong tayo if this router is connected to the internet, no? Of course, this sa topology natin, kumbaga sinasimulate natin na siya ay connected to the internet, no? Yan. So, sample lang natin. Kunyari, yes. Enter the number of interfaces facing the internet. Enter the interface name that is facing the interface. Serial 020. Invalid, so subukan natin serial . Ayan, so kung magkadikit yung number, no? Enter the security banner. Put the banner between start delimiter and end delimiter. Enter ko na lang to. May banner na ako dito eh. Oops. Anyway, pwede ba siya i-cancel? Hindi po pwede, no? Kasi may banner na ako eh. Ayan ang problema, no? So, dapat pala nakasetup lang dito sa router mo ay mga IP addresses, ano? Anyway, sige. Tuloy uli natin. Enable secret is either not configured or is the same as enabled password. Enable, enter the new enable secret. So gawa na lang muna tayo ng enable secret natin. Cisco ENPA 55. Confirm. Tignan nyo, yung hindi secure na enable password, tinatanong pa niya. Anyway, mamaya buburahin na lang natin siya, no? Configuration of local user database. Enter the username. Subukan ko mag-enter lang, no? Kasi mayroon ng username eh. So, no defaulting allowed. Gawa na lang tayo ng panibago kasi mayroon na akong admin, no? Lagay ko na lang muna tech support. enter the password. Itong password na to, ano lang to yung unencrypted na password. From the word password lang, hindi secret na. Blocking period when login attack detected. So siguro mga 120 seconds. Maximum failure attempt 3. Maximum time period for crossing the failed login, siguro mga 60 seconds. Configure SSH server. Meron na akong SSH Subukan natin sagutan ng no. Ayan. Configure context-based access firewall feature. Yes na lang natin to, no? Para yung mga default services, i-disable niya. Then apply this configuration to the running configuration. Jadi, yes, no? Ito yung mga sinet niya. Ito yung mga sinet niya. Na mga settings, no? Or pwede natin ulitin. Tingnan natin kung anong mangyayari kung hindi natin i-yes yung context-based access control, no? Hindi pa naman yan nakasave. So, reload ko muna yung router ko para malinis. Tingnan natin kung ano yung difference when we answer no doon sa CBAC. So dito patungan na lang natin yung ating privilege na. Then enable password daw. Buburahin din natin to after niyang ma-save, ano? Kasi nga delikado yung enable password na yan. Or useless na rin naman yung enable password na yan dahil ang gagamitin niya ay enable secret. So dapat yan disable yan ng ng programmer, no? Configure local user database. Ayaw niya mag-default no sa none, no? So gawa na lang tayo ng tech support techpa 55 na lang yung password natin. So login block for 120 seconds. If there is a maximum failed attempt of 3 within 60 minutes. No. So, yun lang ano. So, nung nag-know ako doon sa CBAC, tatanungin niya ako isa-isa. Ayan. So, TCP intercept feature is used to prevent TCP sync attack on the server in the network. Create autosec TCP intercept list to form the list of server to which the TCP traffic is to be observed. Subukan natin sagutan to ng yes, no? Ayan. So, apply this configuration. So ngayon, enable. Sorry. Assurean natin, no? Assurean. Yung enable password natin, no? Tanggalin natin yan. Hindi naman natin kailangan yan, May lang naman, no? Tapos yung username na nilagay natin kanina. Show run. Yan, kasi pinalagay niya, no? Hindi naman natin kailangan at may nakalagay na tayong admin. Tapos naka-password lang siya, hindi secret. Ayan. So, balik tayo sa slide natin. So, doon sa ginawa nating auto-secure, no? Si Packet Tracer, limited lang yung command na ipinakita niya. Pero sa tunay na iOS, you can select yung mga parameters, no? Yung no interact, forwarding, or management, no? Yan. So, balikan natin, no? When the auto-secure command is initiated, a CLI wizard steps the administrator through the configuration of the device. User input is required. So the auto-secure command is entered. The router displays the auto-secure configuration wizard welcome message. So it gathers information about the outside interface. It secures the management plane by disabling unnecessary services. Prompts for a banner. Prompts for password, enable password, and login features. Interfaces are secured. The forwarding plane is secured. Auto-secure should be used when the router is initially being configured. It is not recommended on the production router. Ibig sabihin, yung gumagana na, no? Yung oras ng trabaho. Busy yung mga users sa paggamit ng internet, tapos mag-auto-secure kayo, no? Routing protocol authentication. So ibig sabihin, dadagdagan natin ng security features yung dynamic routing, ano. Yan, so balikan lang natin yung dynamic routing. Dynamic routing protocols perform several activities including network discovery and maintaining routing tables. Important advantages of dynamic routing protocols are the ability to select a best path and the ability to automatically discover a new best path when there is a change, no, in the topology. A dynamic routing protocols allows the router to automatically learn about this network from other routers. Example daw dito, no, sa topology natin, R1 and R2 using a common routing protocol to share network information. So ibig sabihin, hindi pa na-configure yung authentication, no? So nagpapalitan sila ng routing information at nakakapag-ping na yung mga PCs natin dito, no? Routing system can be attacked by disrupting peer network routers or by falsifying or spoofing the information carried within the routing protocols. Spoofing routing information may generally be used to cause system to misinform or lie to each other, causes a denial of service attack, or cause traffic to follow a path it would not normally follow. There are several consequences daw, no, of a routing information being spoofed. So pwede raw mangyari is redirecting traffic to create routing loop, or redirecting traffic so it can be monitored on an insecure link, redirecting traffic to discard it. OSPF MD5 routing protocol authentication. So enable na daw natin yung OSPF MD5 authentication globally using the IP OSPF message digest key. Kunyari key 1, no? Tapos yung MD5 password ninyo. So check nga natin if this command is supported, no, by the Packet Tracer. So show IP route muna ako. Interface configuration. So message digest, question mark tayo. So you can create key, ano, bahala kayo 12255. So kunyari key 1, tapos question mark tayo, MD5 lang yung supported nya na authentication dito. Kunyari OSPFPA 55 na lang siguro, no? Ayun yung password natin. So hindi niya supported itong pangalawang pangalawang command. So ito dapat siya, IPOSPF message digest key 1, tapos IPOSPF authentication message digest, no? So on both side dapat parehas ayan, sa R2. So ibig sabihin hindi natin magagawa ito sa packet tracer, pero sa tunay na device, no? Dalawang command pa lang kailangan natin, IPOSPF message digest key, the number key, tapos yung password niyo, and then IPOSPF authentication message digest. Purpose siguro nito is to enable this key, and then doon sa kabilang side sa R2 naman, dapat parehas kayo ng key value tapos yung MD5 password, so kapag ka incorrect kasi yan, syempre madi-disconnect yung inyong convergence, yung inyong adjacency. Subukan natin if packet tracer supported this secure hash algorithm. Alam naman natin kasi ang MD5, ano na yan, considered vulnerable to attack and should only be used when stronger authentication is not available. Administrators should use the secure hash algorithm authentication as long as all of the router operating system support the OSPF SHA authentication. So subukan natin to kay packet tracer if this is supported, Hindi, tanggalin ko na tong no IP OSPF. And then sa keychain question mark. So tingnan nga natin yung binigay niya example dito. So keychain, yung keychain yan, string lang naman yan. Keychain SHA 256, any keyword naman yan, tapos key value 1. Pwede tayong mag question mark dito. Ang key value natin is from 0 to 2 billion, dapat parehas siya on both side, key string. Yung key string natin, rin to, string lang din naman yan. Bahala kayo mag-isip ng sarili nyo string, pero dapat yan ay magmamatch, magmamatch dun sa kabilang side na device. So OSPF SHA 256, cryptographic algorithm, hashed message authentication, HMAC dash SHA. Subukan nga natin to. Ayaw kasi niya mag-tab or ayaw niya mag-tab. SHA or mali ako, SHA. Yun, 256. Tapos enter natin. So dito nag-create pa lang tayo ng ng parameter natin for secure hash algorithm, for OSPF routing authentication. I-apply natin sa interface using int, tapos IP OSPF authentication, yan, hindi supported ni packet tracer. Ayan. So hirap pala mag-aral ng Cisco kung puro packet tracer lang, So IP OSPF authentication keychain dapat mag-match doon sa string na value ng keychain natin. So tapos na rito sa portion na to, magda-down yung connection yan. So enter the same parameters on the other device, no? So dapat mag-match yan. And then later yan, magpo-formula yan ng adjacency. Secure management and reporting. Types of management access. From a reporting standpoint, no? Most networking devices can send the log data that can be invaluable when troubleshooting network problems or security threats. This data can be viewed, no, in real time, on demand, and in scheduled reports. When logging and managing information, the information flows between management host and the managed devices. It can take two path, no? Inbound. Pag sinabing inbound, information flows across an enterprise production network, the internet, or both using regular data channels. Ibig sabihin niya, gumamit ka ng secure shell or telnet, no? Then out of band, information flows on a dedicated management network on which no production traffic reside. So pag-usapan natin yung out of band and in-band access. As a general rule, for security purposes, OOB management is appropriate for large enterprise network. However, it is not always desirable. The decision of using the out-of-band management depends on the type of management application running and the protocols being monitored. Out-of-band management guidelines are provide the highest level of security, mitigate the risk of passing insecure management protocols over the production network. In-band management is recommended in a smaller network as means of achieving a more cost-effective security deployment. In such architectures, management traffic flows in-band in all cases. It is made as secure as possible using the secure management protocol using SSH, instead of using the telnet. In-band management guidelines are applied, only to devices that needs to be managed or monitored. Tapos gagamit ng IP security, may VPN, SSH, or SSL when possible. Decide whether the management channel needs to be open at all times. So network security using the system logging, or system log. The most common method of accessing system messages is to use a protocol called syslog. Syslog is a term used to describe a standard. It is also used to describe the protocol developed for that standard. So many networking devices support syslog, including routers, switches, application server, firewalls, and other network appliances. The syslog protocol allows networking devices to send their system message across the network to syslog server. The syslog logging service provides three primary functions: the ability to gather logging information for monitoring and troubleshooting, the ability to select the type of logging information that is used, the ability to specify the destination of a captured syslog messages. On a Cisco network device, the syslog protocol starts by sending system messages and debug output to a local logging process that is internal to the device. How the logging process manages these messages and output is based on the device configuration. As shown in the figure, popular destination for syslog messages include logging buffer or RAM inside the router or a switch. You will notice this, yung kapag gumagamit kayo ng mga router sa switch natin, yung biglang may nagpa-pop up na mga message, kunyari na interface down, up, ganyan. So ibig sabihin yung information na yon ay nasa logging buffer or nasa console line. Yan, or nasa console line siya. Pwede rin naman sa terminal line, ibig sabihin nagre-remote ka, kunyari ito yung Ito yung telnet. Ito yung ginagamit na for telnet, no? Nagre-remote ka rito, tapos biglang may nag-down na interface nito. So, dapat magpa-pop up yun doon sa kanyang telnet or SSH command line, ano? Nakikita dapat doon yung output. It is possible to remotely monitor system messages by viewing the logs on syslog server or by accessing the device through telnet, SSH, or through the console port. Cisco devices produce syslog messages as a result of network events. Every syslog message contains a severity level and facility. The smaller numerical level are the more critical syslog alarm, ano? Yan yung emergency level 0, alert 1, critical 2, error 3, warning 4, notification 5, information 6, debugging level 7. Di ba nakikita niyo yung mga number na yan kapag kami nagpa-pop up ng mga message, no, doon sa inyong router, no? May mga number doon. Yan, yun yung ibig sabihin nun. So kapag emergency or level 0, system is unusable na. Ayan, yung alert, immediate action is needed, critical condition, error condition, warning. Yung level 5, normal siya kasi notification no? Nagno-notify siya ng mga common event na nangyayari sa mga devices natin. But significant condition kasi nakikita niyo kung ano yung nangyayari. Informational kapag ka 6, debugging kapag ka level 7. Syslog facilities are service identifier, no, that identify and categorize system state data for error and event message reporting. The logging facility option that are available are specific to networking device, no. For example, ito yung kay Cisco By default, the format of syslog message or messages on Cisco iOS software is as follows, no. May percent sign, ano. Ayan, percent sign. Ang tawag dyan ay facility. Kagaya nito, percent link, no. Facility link yung ginamit dito. Severity level, ayan, 3. Balikan natin ang 3 kasi di ba meron tayong system unusable level 3, no? Level 3 daw, error condition. Ayan, 3. Tapos mnemonic. Mnemonic is parang pinaikli mo lang kung ano yung nangyari. Nag-up down yung interface natin, or from up to down yung interface natin. And then colon, ayan, kunyari yung interface port channel 1 change state to up. Dito nyo na makikita yung information kung bakit nag forward siya ng ganyang message, no? Description pala ibig sabihin yan, description. For example, ayan, output on a Cisco switch for Ether channel link changing state up, state to up. Ayan. So up down, ibig sabihin pwedeng mag down or mag up yung information na nakikita natin dito, no? Ayan. So ito up yung pinakita niya. Here the facility is link, the severity level is 3, the mnemonic is up down. By default, log messages are not timestamped, no? Log messages should be timestamped so that they are sent, no, to another destination. So puntahan nga muna natin itong packet tracer, no? Ito kasing server na to, may service siya rito na syslog. Naka-open naman siya. Alamin lang natin yung IP address niya, which is 67. And then dito sa ating device, yan. So command daw is logging So logging IP address, no? IP address of the logging host. Pwede rin naman set syslog server IP address and parameters, no? Yan. So logging host to the IP address of the logging, no, the logging host. So logging host nga natin, no. So logging kunyari 192, sorry, show IP int brief. Again, question mark tayo. Set syslog server IP address and parameter. So logging ang IP address natin pwede rin naman logging console, ano. Ayan, logging service natin on. Itong trap, no, pwede mo specify anong level yung gusto mo makita. So balikan natin, no, may mga level tayo dito eh. Kunyari na nilagay mo logging trap on level 5, ang i-report niya 543210. Kung logging trap lang nilagay ninyo sa packet tracer kasi hindi niya supported, yung mamimili ka. Yan. Pero sa tunay device pwede nyo piliin, no. By default nandito siya sa level 7. I-record niya yung 765432210, no, lahat. Pero pwede nyo piliin, no. Pwede kang mamili lamang ng 4, 3, 2, 1 and so on. Ito lang pipiliin nyo, tapos yun i-report niya pababa, no. Logging trap, question mark tayo. Debugging lang yung makikita nyo rito, no. Wala na siya ibang severity na option sa packet tracer eh. So yung isa logging logging host, ibig sabihin nun pwedeng specific na device, no? Doon mo siya ilalag, no? Or pwede sa server. Tingnan nga natin yung laman nito. Tutusin, pwede namang ang ilalagay ko lang ay logging server lang, ano. Logging host pala yung command, kahit hindi ko nilagay yung logging tapos yung IP address kasi ni-specify ko yung sarili kong IP address doon sa switch, no? So ibig sabihin maglalag din siya doon. Try natin mag-shutdown ng interface, no? Or mag-create ng ibang interface. Sa tunay kasi na device, pwede kang maglagay ng logging interface eh. Tignan nyo, hindi siya nag-pop up, ano. Ang tanong dyan is, napiping ba ng server natin? Dali lang. Tanggalin ko muna isa rito. clear tuloy. Wala palang clear dito. So gawin ko, so int bilan to shutdown. Bagal kasi ito eh. Pero dapat meron na yan eh. Wala kasi siyang refresh dito. So ito yung mga logs na nakita natin. Pass Ethernet to change state administratively down. Hindi mabube yung yung column nito. Tapos line pro up down, line protocol on interface F2 change to down. So yan yung purpose ng syslog no? Para at least na i-investigahan ninyo kung ano yung nangyayari sa system. Balik natin. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi real time na. So kung minsan ginagawa ko, click muna na ibang tab dito Milipat mo na ibang tab para ma-refresh ito. Line protocol on interface F02 change state to up. So kaya lang ang problema nito, wala siyang time walang oras kung kailan nangyari yung event na ito. By default, log messages are not timestamped. Log messages should be timestamped so that when they are sent to another destination such as a syslog server, there is a record open message was generated. We can use the service timestamp log date time to force log event to display the date and time as shown in the command service timestamp log date time. Dito natin ilalagay yun. Okay, switch. In milliseconds. So, clear natin. So, balik muna tayo dito. Kahit saang tab. Tapos, let's try to reinitiate yung nangyari. Kunyari, int F02. Ayan, shutdown. Balik tayo doon sa server natin. May oras na siya ngayon. Kaya lang, tingnan yung oras 1993. Ayan, nasaan kayo nung mga panahon na yan March 1, 1993. So, i-correct natin yan maya-maya Okay, syslog implementation always contains two types of systems. The syslog server, also known as log host, this system accept and process log messages from syslog client. Yung syslog client natin, a router or other device that generate and forward log messages, no, to syslog servers. Kagaya dito, no, sa the topology, no, the topology in the figure identifies to the syslog server at IP address 10.226. The rest of the server and devices in the topology can be configured as syslog client, which sends syslog messages, not the syslog server. So yung configuration daw, isa-isa natin, no? Although nagawa na natin. Configure system logging, no, with the following step. Set the destination logging host using the logging host command. Optional daw ito yung logging trap. Set the log severity trap level using the logging trap command. Although kay Packet Tracer wala ka nang mga ibang option dyan kundi debugging, ano. Step number 3, optional din, set the source interface, no, using the logging source interface command. So optional lang yun. Kung wala kayo ni-specify doon, lahat ng interfaces doon sa device natin yung magpapadala niyan, no. So step number 4, optional din, enable logging to all enabled destination with the logging on. So ibig sabihin, kahit hindi ko na nilagay yung logging on, basta nag-specify na ako ng logging host, gagana na yun. Okay, optional lang daw, no? Pero kung hindi gumana, no, yung pagbato ng message, then siguro kailangan nyo i-enter ito, no. Pwede nyo paglaruan yan, no? Trial and error. So tingnan nyo rito sa iOS, no? Dito logging trap informational yung ginamit niya. Doon kay Packet Tracer, debugging lang yung option natin. Show logging, no, for verification. So let's try show logging sa ating switch. Ang daming information. So logging to host 192.168.167 192.168.167 on the UDP port 514, no, yung ginagamit niya. Baka kasi biglang lumabas sa exam yan, no. Ako anong port number daw yung ginagamit for syslog messages, no. So 514. So alam ko sa tunay na device pwede yan lagyan ng authentication, saka encryption, no. Yan. So yung problem natin kanina, out of date, no, yung machine natin. So pasok tayo ngayon dito sa NTP server, NTP configuration. So time and calendar services, no. The software clock on a router or switch starts when the system boots. It is the primary source of time, no, for the system. It is important to synchronize the time across all devices on the network because all aspects of managing, securing, troubleshooting, and planning network requires accurate time stamping. The date and time settings on a router or switch can be manually configured, no, using the clock set command as shown in the example, no. Ayan, clock set. Kung tutusin ko, ito ginawa natin doon sa switch 1, nilagay natin manually, updated yung date and time natin. So pag-usapan muna natin yung NTP operation. NTP networks use a hierarchical system of time sources. Each level in this hierarchical system is called a stratum. The stratum level is defined, no, as the number of hop count from authoritative server. So the example daw, no, the sample network consists of 4 stratum levels who acquire their times as follows. Stratum 1, ito yung mga server. Stratum 1 server gets its time from Stratum 0 time source. Itong stratum 0 na time source na yan, usually ano yan atomic clock yan yan, yan ay located on some part of the world, diyan nakakonect yung upper level na server, may hierarchy, diba? Sa internet natin may mga ISP tayo, tapos yung ISP connected pa sa malalaking ISP, parang ganyan. Okay, so ito yung stratum 1, which is mas closest to stratum 0, na pagkakatiwala ang oras. Pero ito pwede rin naman mag-serve ito ng oras para sa level 2, stratum 2 na ngayon ito pwede rin mag-serve, para sa level down below, stratum 3. Stratum 2 server gets its time from the stratum 1 server, and so on, actually hanggang 15 siya stratum 15. So kapag 16 yung nakita nyo, stratum 16, unsync yun, unsynchronized siya. Yan. So the figure shows the topology used to demonstrate NTP configuration and verification. So ito yung NTP server, ito yung NTP server, pwedeng NTP client siya dito, ito naman, since updated na yung oras niya, pwede din siya configure as NTP server. Tapos yung switch 1 natin, pwede siya tawagin na server. Okay, ito pwede ring configure yung kanyang service para yung client naman dito kumukuha ng oras, so kunyari ito yung source stratum 1, 2, 3, so let's configure NTP. In this case, ang gagawin kong NTP server natin ay switch 2. Show clock muna tayo. Show clock detail sa hardware. Configure muna natin yung clock nito, i-update muna natin. Sorry, ito pala tayo. So clock set 1648. Show clock. So naset na natin, so gawin natin siya master. So clock master, sorry, clock tuloy, NTP master, NTP authentication dash key 1 MD5, kunyari S2 NTP PA 55. Show run section NTP. So punta tayo dito. Show clock. Yan, show clock detail. So gawin natin NTP server 192.168.1.3 NTP trusted key 1 NTP MD5 show NTP association or NTP status. So right now siya ay unsynchronized pa rin, it will take some time for our clock to synchronize doon sa ating NTP server. So for that, maghintay tayo. Pause muna natin. So let's take a look kung ano na nangyari dito sa ating NTP client, So minsan talaga may problema tong si packet tracer, minsan gumagana mabilis, minsan tama naman yung configuration mo, pero kahit anong hintay mo ayaw. Anyway, so show clock muna tayo. Show clock, updated na yung oras ni R2. Show clock detail, it uses the NTP as time source. Show NTP status. Tingnan nyo maigi, no? Kung tutuusin, base dito sa topology natin, ang pinaka time source natin ay si switch number 2, which is stratum 0 dapat yun eh. At ito dapat ay magiging stratum 1, no? Anyway, base doon sa configuration ni switch 2, sa kanya stratum 8 siya, ito naging stratum 9. Although yung switch 2 natin ay local time lang naman ang ginawa natin, no? Pero okay na rin, no? Kasi dito ay clock and synchronized na. Tapos ngayon, itong si R2 stratum 9 na siya. Pwede rin siya maging server para sa ibang device na kukonect sa kanya. Ang reference time natin is 192.168.1.3. Ayan. So dito natin makikita na gumagana na yung ating NTP configuration. So yung NTP server doon sa packet tracer natin, yan, kunyari ito, no? Ito may problema rin ito eh. Although kunyari tama naman yung ginawa nyo configuration dito, key 1 tapos yung password, minsan naghihintay ka matagal, ayaw gumana. Pagka ni power cycle mo naman ang yung packet tracer, bumabalik sa 0 at naka-disable. So parang ano lang ito eh, tsambahan lang yung kung maganda yung performance ng computer natin, no? Siguro naka-ankla rin ito sa CPU ng computer natin eh. So anyway, importante lang dito is may demonstrate, no, na yung Cisco iOS device supports NTP. Pwede siyang maging NTP master, and then pwede natin configure yung client to connect to the NTP server. SNMP configuration. SNMP is an application layer protocol that provides a message format for communication between managers and agent. So the simple network management protocol system consists of 3 elements. SNMP manager, no? Minsan dyan tayo naglalagay ng mga software monitoring. Yan. Yung agent naman, ito yung configure natin to send information, no, doon sa manager. Management information base, ito yung database, no, ng bawat information sa mga device natin, kagaya ng CPU, memory, yung mga interface, bandwidth, yung mga ganyan, ano. To configure SNMP, no, on a networking device, it is first necessary to define the relationship between the manager and agent. The SNMP manager is part of network management system. The SNMP manager runs SNMP management software. Example daw dito sa figure natin, SNMP manager can collect information for agent, no, by using the get action. It can change the configuration on the agent by using the set action. In addition, SNMP daw or SNMP agent can forward information directly to network manager by using trap, no? Even though yung SNMP hindi siya nagpo-poll, no, pwedeng automatically yung agent natin magbato kaagad siya ng existence niya, no, doon sa network using trap, no. There are 2 primary SNMP manager requests. Get request used by the network management system to query the device for data. Set request, no, used by the network management system to change configuration variable in the agent device. A set request can also initiate action within the device. For example daw, a set request can cause a router to reboot, send a configuration file, or receive a configuration file. The SNMP manager uses the get and set action to perform the operation as described in the table. Gaya nito, yung get dash request it retrieves a value from a specific variable. Get next request, it retrieves a value from the variable within the table. The SNMP manager does not need to know the exact variable name. A sequential search is performed to find the needed variable from within the table. Get bulk request retrieves a large block of data such as multiple rows in the table that would otherwise require the transmission of many small blocks of data. Only works with SNMP version 2 or later. Get response replies to get request or get next request, and set request sent by the network management system. And then we have set request, stores a value in a specific variable. The management information base, the MIB organizes variable hierarchically. The MIB variable enables the management software to monitor and control the network device. Formally, the managed information base defines each variable as an object ID. Object ID uniquely identify managed object in the managed information base hierarchy. The MIB organizes the OID based on the request for comment standard into a hierarchical OID, usually shown as a tree, kagaya nito. So, ibig sabihin, ayan, kunyari si Cisco number 9 siya, pwedeng yung Huawei iba yung number, yung Juniper, pero ganito yung order ISO, yung org, DoD, internet, private, enterprise, kunyari Huawei or anumang vendor, dito sa example natin Cisco, so 1.3.6.1.4.1.9, ito yung ating private enterprise. Tapos si Cisco pwede siya mag-define ng mga local variables, kagaya nito, local variables or interface group. Yan, Cisco management, kunyari 9.9, 9.10, 9.2 and so on. So the figure shows portion of MIB structure defined by the Cisco. Note how the OID can be described in words or numbers to help locate a particular variable in a tree. OID belonging to Cisco are numbered as follows: 1.3, .6, .1, .4, .1, .9. Therefore, the OID is 9. So meron tayong iba't ibang version ng SNMP. Merong version 1 is the simple network management protocol, a full internet standard that is defined in the request for comment 1157. Kaya lang may inherent security vulnerability, plain text kasi yan Yan, SNMP B2C, defined in RFC 1901 or 1901, 1908. So it uses community string based administrative framework. And then SNMP version 3, this is an interoperable standard based protocol originally defined in the RFC 2273 to 2275. It provides secure access to devices by authenticating and encrypting packet over the network. So yung SNMP 1 and 2C ay walang encryption. It includes this security feature, Yan. It includes this security feature, message integrity to ensure that the packet was not tampered with in transit, authentication to determine that the message is from a valid source, and encryption to prevent the content of a message from being read by an authorized source. All version use SNMP manager. All versions use SNMP managers, agent, and manage information base. So Cisco IOS software supports the above 3 versions. Both B1 and B2C use community-based form of security. The community of managers that is able to access the MIB of the agent is defined by the community string. Yan. Meron tayong SNMP B3 provides for both security model, no, and security levels. In any network topology, at least on manager node should run SNMP. Ayan, management software SNMP management software. Network devices that can be managed such as switches, routers, servers, and workstation are equipped with SNMP agent software module. SNMP daw is vulnerable to attack precisely because SNMP agent can be polled with get request and accept configuration changes now with set request. So therefore SNMP B3 provides 3 security features, no? Message integrity and authentication. It ensures that the packet has not been tampered with in transit and is from a valid source. Mayroong encryption, no? This scrambles the content of the packet to prevent it from being seen, no, by the unauthorized source. Access control. Restrict each principal to certain action on a specific portion of the data. So to configure, no? Yan, kunyari ko configure natin yung router natin as SNMP agent. SNMP B3 can be secured with only few commands. Yan, pwede tayong maglagay ng access list, no? We can define kung sino lang yung device that can poll or get the information on this router, no? Yan, using access list. Pwedeng name or number, no? Step number 2, configure the SNMP view with the SNMP server view command to identify the MIB OID that the SNMP manager will be able to read. Configuring a view is required, no, to limit SNMP message to read-only access. Kaya ito, SNMP server view, tapos OID 3 number, no? Mamaya makikita nyo yung sample dito sa slide natin. Step number 3, configure SNMP group features with SNMP server dash group command. Configure a name for the group, set SNMP version to 3, require authentication and encryption with private keyword, associate a view, no, to a group and give it a read-only access with the read command. Specify ACL configured in step number 1. And then step number 4, configure SNMP group user feature with the SNMP server user. Configure a username and associate the user with the group. Set SNMP version 3. Set authentication type to either MD5 or SHA. Of course, SHA na yung dapat gamitin natin, no? SHA is preferred, no? Required encryption with the private keyword, no? Para nakascramble yung traffic natin. So, tingnan natin yung sample output niya rito. Yan. So, si R1 nag-create si administrator ng access list. Pinangalanan na lang niya ang permit admin. So, dito inalaw niya yung buong buong subnet to access the device. So, ibig sabihin, from any computer na merong network management software, pwede mong i-call yung router na ito. SNMP server view, pwede naman pong any keyword ang gamitin mo rito, no? Yan, ibig sabihin ng ISO included, no? Ibig sabihin from the top ito, no? Kung maalala nyo yung yung 3 ISO, yun, from the top. ISO included, SNMP server group, kunyari group admin or version 3, private, no? Read only. Yan, pwede kasi yan yung may right, no, na pwedeng i-modify yung yung configuration. pero usually read only lang yung kailangan natin dito. And then i-map natin sa access list. Yan. So then create SNMP server user, no? Any user, kunyari si admin, under the group of admin, uses version 3 of SNMP, authentication used is SHA, tapos ito yung password, no? Yan, yung secure hashing keyword natin, tapos yung encryption using AES kung kaya ng 256 mas maganda. Ayan, tapos yung inyong keyword, no, for security. Pwedeng ibahin nyo na, pwede magkaiba yan, no? Pero dapat alam nyo kung ano yung authentication saka yung encryption. Kasi dinidefine yan doon sa software, eh. Kunyari username admin, username Bob, no? Tapos SHA, password, tapos yung encryption AES 128, ilalagay nyo yan doon, no? So kagaya ng example yung PRTG na software, pwede nyo gamitin to call, no, this device. Tapos makikita nyo yung kunyari mga CPU usage, no, yung RAM, yung kanyang link speed, makikita siya yan, sa graphical, ano yun, graphical option, no? So verification daw, you can use show run include SNMP. So ito yung sample naman na ginamit ni Cisco just to view yung MIB, ano. May problema nga ito, no, install ko siya doon sa Windows 10, and I'm trying to poll, no, yung device, hindi nagre-respond, eh. Siguro may kinalaman din ito doon sa kung ano yung programming language na ginamit ito, eh. Baka may problema rin sa JavaScript or something, ano. Kaya ako ginagamit ko na yung mga PRTG na software, no, or kung naman yung counterpart na PRTG na software na ilalagay nyo na lang yung IP address, username, no, yung mga security parameters, tapos makikita nyo na yung graphical view, no. So using Wireshark, no, to capture yung traffic between the network management software and the router, no, makikita nyo rito encrypted siya. Okay, so that's all lang, no, yung coverage itong ating module number 6. So see you on the next module.